Hey everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Amazing Grace on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something you want to learn. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, that way you never miss out on another new tutorial, and follow me on Instagram for your chance to win a free lesson with me. I once was lost. So this song is going to be really great if you're a beginner. There's only 5 chords and one of them is kind of optional. You don't really have to play it. And as far as the key goes, since it's kind of a church hymn song, you can kind of choose whatever key suits your voice the best. So for this tutorial, I will have my capo on the 4th fret because that suits my singing voice, but you could obviously do this whole tutorial through without a capo, or you could move the capo to whatever fret suits your voice. On top of that, I did want to show you 3 different ways that I think sounds really good to play this song, and it's going to go from easiest to hardest. So make sure to look up here at the time guide to kind of figure out what level you're at. Strumming pattern 1 is going to be easiest, strumming pattern 2 is going to be a little bit harder, and then the picking pattern is going to be the hardest way to play this. But none of them are actually that hard, so let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial, and I'll start with the chords. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at the chords. The first chord you need to know is G, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we have our G7 chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Now I know this hand position can be a little bit challenging and kind of weird for beginners, so this is our optional chord. If you're having trouble playing this or anything like that, you can always replace the G7 chord with your regular G for the entirety of this tutorial, so just know that that's an option. If you don't want to play G7, you can always just play a regular G, okay? After that, we've got our C chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next we have our D chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then the last chord you need to know is our E minor chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Alright, and those are all the chords you need to know for this song. Alright, so after you have those chords memorized, go ahead and take a few moments to practice transitioning between them. I do have a video right here on how to transition between chords faster if that's something you're struggling with. But after you have those transitions down, then we can move on to some of the strumming patterns that you can use with this song. So let's go ahead and jump into strumming pattern 1. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Alright, so this first strumming pattern is by far going to be the easiest way to play this song. As you can see, it's just one simple down strum, and we're going to just play this one simple down strum at the beginning of every measure for the entire song. So let me go ahead and go through an example of what this would sound like. If you put your G chord on, that's the very first chord in the song, and all you're going to do is do one down strum on each of these chords. So we've got G, then we have G7, if you want to play it, then we have C, and then G again. And basically you just want to go through the entire song and play the one down strum strumming pattern to kind of get used to where those transitions are going to be. And again, if you're a beginner at guitar, this is a great way to kind of get into the guitar and to accompany yourself without making it too hard. So let me actually go ahead and go through the entire refrain part of this song with you so you can hear what it sounds like. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Alright, right, so you can see it's super simple, and basically you could play that one down strum strumming pattern for the entire song. I think it would sound really great. However, if you are a little bit more adventurous and want to figure out another strumming pattern that you can use with this song, that's when we can introduce strumming pattern 2. So as you can see, it's a little bit more detailed than strumming pattern 1. We've got down, down, up, down, up. And what we're gonna do is play through this strumming pattern one time for each measure. So let's go ahead and go through the motions. I have my G chord down, since again, that's the first chord in the song. And let's just practice these motions, okay? We've got down, down, up, down, up. That's the whole thing, and then you're just gonna repeat it over and over. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Awesome, so super simple, right? It is gonna be a way to dress up the guitar a little bit more from the first strumming pattern, but now let's go ahead and put those chord transitions back on screen and practice transitioning. So we've got our G chord on, down, down, up, down, up. Then you switch to your G7 if you want. Down, down, up, then C, down, down, up, back to G. All right, so let's practice that one more time without stopping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. G, down, up, G7, down, up, C, down, up, G. Awesome. So again, you can kind of hear that rhythm forming, and what we want to do is apply this through the entire song. All right, so now let me just play through the entire refrain one time for you guys, and just know that this strumming pattern could be applied for the entire song for each of those verses, okay? But let's just go through the main verse here. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Nice. So again, you could use that for the entire song for each of those verses, but that is kind of the intermediate way to play this song. However, I do have one other thing I want to show you, which is a picking pattern that I think sounds really pretty with this song. So if that's something that you're interested in learning, let's stay tuned for the picking pattern next. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now. Alright, so I've zoomed in a little bit to show you guys this picking pattern. If you're unfamiliar with any of my other tutorials, I do like to refer to these strings as numbers. So let me just zoom in really quick and show you how I refer to these numbers, with the low E string being 6, and it goes all the way up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to the high E string, which is 1, okay? So for this little picking section, I will be referring to each of these string names as numbers. All right, so this is a really pretty pattern that you can use, but it's actually not that hard to learn. So let's go ahead and just get started with our G chord, since that's the first chord in the song. What I want you to do is, with your picking hand, your right hand, your thumb is going to always pick the bottom bass note, which is either going to be your 6th E string, your 5th A string, or your 4th D string, okay? So your thumb is going to be in charge of these 3 strings. Put your pointer finger on the 3rd G string, your middle finger on the 2nd B string, and your ring finger on the top E string, or the high E string, okay? So now your thumb's going to be taking care of those 3 strings, and then your pointer, middle, and ring are going to be taking care of the higher strings, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to take you through each of these chords and how we're going to play it. So starting with our G chord, what you want to do is take your thumb and pick the 6th bottom string, and then we're going to pick 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So if you think about it, we're kind of going from the bottom note to the top note and then back down to the bottom note, okay? So we've got 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Again, 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, and the rest of the chords are going to follow a very similar pattern. Let's go ahead and go to our G7 chord next. This is going to be played exactly like G, so we have 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more time. All right, then we've got our C chord. Now your thumb's going to move to the 5th string, but the rest of this pattern is the same. So again, we've got 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more time. All right, nice. Then our next chord is going to be our D chord. For that, your thumb's going to move to the 4th string because that's the bottom string in this chord. And the rest of the pattern is the same. So we've got 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more time. Awesome. And then the very last chord you need to do is your E minor chord. And again, for this one, it's going to be like G, where our thumb goes back to the 6th string. But again, the rest of the pattern is the same. So for this one, we've got 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I get this question a lot. Since we are holding down the 5th and 4th string on our left hand, you totally could play this E minor chord without any fingers on the guitar. It would sound exactly the same. But the advice I have is if you're new to guitar, I always want to keep that chord shape down on your left hand, just in case you accidentally, pick a different string than you were meaning to. It'll still sound good because you know all of the notes are part of that chord, okay? So anyways, that is how you do the picking for each of these chords. And so all you want to do now is put it together without stopping. So let's go ahead and go through the first line. We've got our G chord on. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then go to G7. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then we've got C. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Back to G. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stay on G. Twice. Then you go to D. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, twice. G, G7, C, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, back to G, 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here's that E minor chord. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, back to D, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Back to G one more time. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, twice. Nice, and that is how you play basically the entire song because it works for every single verse in the song. Then once you have that down, you just want to practice it a little bit faster and without stopping. So let me go ahead and do that for you guys, and you guys should follow along if you can. We're starting with our G chord. 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, G7. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, back to G. Stay on G. Twice. Switch to D. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, G again. G7. C. Back to G. E minor, D, G. Awesome, so you played through basically the entire song just now. So now I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit more and put some singing with it so you guys can hear what it sounds like in context with the song. And again, I'm just going to be doing that main chorus section, but just know that this whole picking pattern can apply for the entire song. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Awesome, and that's how you do the picking version of this song. Again, this is kind of the most difficult way, I think, to play this song, so if this is hard for you, then make sure to stick to the strumming patterns that I showed you, but that is 3 different ways of how you can play this song. Like me, I was Alright, so that was my tutorial for Amazing Grace. I really hope that you liked it. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below, as well as to subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss out on any new tutorials. Here are my social media sites in case you'd like to follow me on any of those. That's just where I do fun things like behind the scenes looks at things coming up. I'll poll you guys on things you want to see. I also do a monthly lesson giveaway on my Instagram, so make sure to follow me on there. And one last little plug, if you liked the shirt I was wearing in today's tutorial, this is my Capo shirt. You can find this along with lots of other designs in my merch store link down below, as well as under this video. Every purchase there really helps my channel to grow and allows me to continue making these free tutorials for you guys. So thank you so much for anyone who's ever supported me in that way. And I think that concludes this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Now I see